Welcome to this week's episode of 5 Minutes of Management. I'm Frank Kalman here with Rick Bell. Rick, breaking news on the Game Changers front,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we have breaking news on Game Changers. Game Changers applications are still open. So apply. Go to workforce.com and you can find the awards section and look under Game Changers and apply. Tell your friends, tell your family. Apply. And it's basically a 40 under 40 program. So we expect at least 40 of you to apply.
And then, Rick, real breaking news today.
All the ships at sea. Yes, we have breaking news. We have just found out that Hank Jackson, CEO and president of SHRM, is stepping down. He'll be resigning as of December 31st. Now, Hank Jackson has been in charge of SHRM since 2010. And really, you know, Frank, in their 75-year history, they've only had 6 presidents so far, and Hank is the latest. What's interesting is who's next?
Who is next? I mean, have they named anyone yet?
Nobody yet. The search firm Spencer Stewart will be handling the search for their next president. And it just sort of brings up what's Hank Jackson's legacy, which of course the biggest thing is the SHRM certification, which it was the controversial move to break into HRCI's territory. So SHRM does have its SCP certifications now, and I think that's Hank Jackson's lasting legacy is the certification push.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who ultimately fills that seat. SHRM is a highly influential organization in the human resources space.
Yeah, 289,000 people.
Lots of folks. I think their annual conference is typically late June, and we'll have to see if they have a new CEO in place by that time. I imagine
they could.
That's something that maybe
they could have someone named. But then again, Hank isn't resigning or he's not stepping down until December 31st.
Well, Rick, in non-SHRM related news, small business creation is a primary pillar of economic growth. Most economists will tell you that if you're a budding entrepreneur, you are doing a good service to the economy. But a new report from JP Morgan Chase finds that U.S. small businesses add fewer than 1 full-time employee each year. So basically, small businesses are not adding jobs outside of the founder. So it's interesting because you can typically hear, we need more small business creation to add jobs, but JP Morgan is finding that those jobs aren't following. And I think partly that has to do with the fact that most of the new businesses that are being created are likely internet businesses, and they don't require heavy infrastructure, and they don't require a lot of employees. A lot of it is a one-man band.
Well, and then you do see these companies that get all sorts of venture funding, and then their employee population explodes. Now, another thing too, Frank, that may be a factor is that they want to keep their employee population under 50 people, based on ACA regulations or whatever the future of Obamacare is going to be. But that's one of the thresholds. And I think that 50 employee benchmark tends to be significant for a lot of companies because then you reach certain regulations as well.
Even look at some of the more established technology companies to come from the last 10 years. Facebook, I think, has 12,000 employees for a big tech company. That compares to Microsoft, which I think has an upwards of 200,000 employees. Sure. So I think you're just generally seeing this trend where companies are able to sort of survive on fewer and fewer people, and small businesses, especially those, early stage angel seed companies, they're going it alone because they simply A, probably can't afford to hire people, but also B, the need is probably not there as it once was.
Yeah, well, Frank, and you also see automation. I mean, and which your publication, our sister publication, Talent Economy, has just written about and will be publishing in its upcoming issue, the automation of the workforce. So yeah, that's really significant as well.
That's right. Well, Rick, anything else from you this week?
I have nothing else, Frank.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and follow us on our YouTube channel for 5 Minutes of Management. I'm Frank Kalman. We've got Rick Bell. See you next week.